let's see. Let's pop this open here. And hopefully this video should pop open. Okay. So let me know. Can you guys see this video here that I have going? Can you guys see that video? Okay, perfect. So I have a few questions that I wanted to kind of get going with Dane, and Dane is nice enough to, being willing to sit down and just have a conversation with me real quick. So I'm just going to throw them out there, and I'm just going to let you kind of chat with me. So I have a couple here. So the first one is why. So I always kind of told people my why. Like, why did you look into trading? And you could be as brief or as long-winded as you want to. So why were you kind of looking into trading?
Yeah, so for me, I was already in the process of looking for another business. After I got out of the service, I did telecom for 20 years, and I was looking for something. Things have changed, obviously. We're all experiencing that, but I wanted something that didn't require a lot of infrastructure. I didn't have to have employees. I didn't have a building. I didn't have to, go through all of the stuff that you typically do when you're trying to make money on your own. So I literally stumbled across this when I was searching through all of the different
ways to make
for sale, websites.
Oh, good.
I looked at franchises. I looked at all kinds of stuff, and this one just kind of popped up, and I was like, I saw the price points, the ranges, and I was like, well, that'd be something to look at. And it just seemed something. It was, after I did my research and I realized, okay, it's not pinging off of the bad websites. It's not getting any really negative feedback. I decided to pursue it.
Perfect. Thanks. Okay. The next one I had listed out here for you is, so obviously the trial is 30 days. How long were you in the trial? And then why did you choose to learn from us? So I know it's kind of a two-sided question there, but they said that they can't hear you very well. So I'm gonna get closer to me. There we go.
So I was, what are we in? Just the beginning of October. I was on vacation on the East Coast with my wife. I think it was near the middle or end of July when I stumbled across it. I elected, for the one that I came in, I elected to do a trial, but and then a week went by and I hadn't even looked at it except for briefly because I was driving. I looked at it for a couple more days, and at that point I just was like, I didn't want to waste any more time trying to learn more about something that I already felt like made sense. And so I jumped in, and I just.
What? So why us? Did you look at any other kind of trading at all? I mean, you said you did research. Did you do a trial with anybody else?
No, I mean, I did research, but I couldn't really find anybody else, at least with what I did, that offered
a trial.
What you're doing. And I talked to other people and like, oh, I've done trading and this and that, but they all came to the same conclusion. They didn't really know what they were doing, and nobody had told them what to do. They were just like, oh yeah, I've seen programs. So it was unique that I could buy in, but then I could also have somebody guide me through what I was doing.
Perfect. Okay. So which program did you choose and why? So actually, let me preface this. So if you guys haven't looked at the different programs, we do have 4 different programs. We are not going to discuss we're not going to pull those up and go through that on the webinar here, but there are 4 different ones to look at. So you guys are welcome to go look at those on your own. Which one did you choose and why?
Yeah, so I chose I guess what's referred to as the platinum. So okay. that was the top one. And for me, I could have spent less money and come at a lower price point and then work my way up if I wanted. But I truly treated this as a business, and I was wanting to replace some of the things that I'm doing. So I went ahead and just went at the top. For me, it offered more personally, more benefits, more coaching, more interaction, with you guys.
They don't know. So he's actually in town right now he lives in Oklahoma. So he's in town doing his executive platinum coaching in person. So I'm going to lead into that question. So how has it been? So you had the one-on-one for the 9 weeks,
right?
And then today was your first day,
correct?
And then tomorrow's your second day. Kind of give them a little bit how experience is.
Yeah, so I mean, after I decided to pull the trigger, so to speak. Everybody just kind of jumped in, and I was assigned. I've had 3 coaches so far. What I like about that is each person brings a different perspective to the table. So you get to learn different styles. You get to learn what works for those coaches and why they chose to do what they're doing. And you can kind of start taking all that and realize what works for you.
Right.
You can take those bits and pieces like, well, yeah, I'm either not a morning person or I'm not a night person, or, maybe somebody has a strategy that they came up with, and you can look at that. But the most important part that I keep getting is find those rules and then stick to it. It's really that simple. I mean, obviously I spent 9 years in the military, so I know how to follow rules, but then 20 years of being self-employed, and you kind of set your own, but you always go back to the basics. You don't try to always blaze a trail. You find out what people have done in the past, what works, and then you follow that. And once you get those principles down, then you can tweak it on your own.
Well, that was kind of what I just, when I said, like I realized that I didn't know what I was doing and I needed help. And so there was a comment on there about, they thought that I was genuine on this webinar. And I don't know who said that, but I definitely appreciate it, because it's not easy, but it's worth it. Yeah. I mean, you're not out hammering this.
Yeah. Nothing is coming overnight. I mean, you're having to put in the hard work, you're having to put in the time, but time is ultimately what I was trying to get back. I've been the self-employed guy that's worked 16 to 18 hours a day, and I've had multiple employees, and it just burned me out. I'm already 100% disabled vet, so I struggle with that.
Well, first of all, we appreciate your service.
Well, it was my pleasure. I enjoyed it, but I was trying to find a way, because now I have grandkids, and I've got 3 other children. How do I start getting to the point of where I used to make the money that I used to make, but not sacrifice it, so that at the end of my life, whenever that is, I don't look back and say, well, man, I wish I had spent time with them, or I wish I'd have done that.
No, nobody ever said I wish I worked more, right?
No.
Nobody ever says that. But that kind of leads me in. So do you feel like kind of experiencing the coaching program so far that you'll be able to reach those goals? And I don't need you to go into specific. Yeah, everybody has different financial goals.
Right.
And I don't think we get into that, but do you think you'll be able to get there based off of where you're at so far?
Yeah. I mean, so for me personally, I set a really high goal. At least I think I did. But what I've seen, and from other people that I've spoken to, or some of the other people that I've met, I think anybody can achieve the goal that they're trying to replace currently. And for me, again, it was being able to stay home more. It was put in the time with my family. And then just in the day and age that we're living, it's a little bit different. So I didn't have to worry about venturing out as much, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But is it going to take me time? Yes. But if I follow the program, and if I...
So let me ask you this. And so I didn't have this one written down, but I just brought it up. So how was the virtual training? How was that for you? So right now, obviously you're here in person for these 2 days, and that's cool. How was the one-on-one virtual? Because you guys use Zoom, correct?
Yeah, we were doing Zoom,
video conference call.
Yeah.
How was that?
So it worked really well. I mean, it was comfortable. It wasn't weird. Sometimes I would use my computer. Sometimes I'd use my phone. I guess it just depends on how I felt in the morning. But we were able to communicate. There weren't any glitches. It wasn't, I could ask questions. We could go back. I mean, it wasn't like I just felt like, oh, I've got to follow this, what he's saying. It wasn't like I felt like the person was just reading off a script. They were engaging with me as a person. I would try to explain, well, this is who I am, this is how I learn. And they would try to always keep me focused and centered around what the core principles were, but then also bring it back to who I was as a person. So that was a big deal for me.
Well, perfect. Well, I didn't have any more, but I think this one is good here. So I'm going to ask this question to you, and then we'll wrap up. So as you're going through, are you continuing to gain confidence? Thank you, Paul, whoever Paul is. That's a great question, man. Yeah. I wish I would have thought of that one.
Yeah, and Paul, and so for me, I felt like I already had the confidence, but that's kind of who I am. The big telltale was I brought my wife, and she is the one that will, gauge what I'm saying or what I'm doing or my body language. And after being here and her not really having time to really see all the things that have gone on and what's happened, she has walked away with more confidence and even understood it. So that was a big deal for me.
Well, that's huge.
You know, obviously we already invested the money. So for me, come hell or high water, I was going to make it work. But yeah, again, I met a new coach today. And again, it just reinforced what we're doing. Everybody has their own style, but everybody is teaching the same principles, the same, you know, the same strategies, if you will. That may not be the right word, but at the end of the day, there's a set of, I'll use an old military term, core values.
Right.
And everybody,
I was going to say structure.
Yeah.
So,
and everybody is using that structure, those core values, but you're getting, I've asked, and I'm the type of person, I've asked people their stories. Well, why did you do this? Why did you do that? What brought you to that? Because that's my way of gauging off of body language or how somebody speaks, whether or not they really believed what they were saying. So I hope that answers your question.
That did. And I'm going to finish on this one, Nias, because this is an easy one. So you actually go through the full education and then you get into real money. So I'm going to say no, not yet. But he hasn't gotten into real money yet. But I wanted to bring him in because he's literally about 2 months further along than anybody else on this webinar. So if any of you guys are thinking, what is it like? How is it? Blah, blah, blah. I felt like, man, it was a good time to bring him in. So yeah. I definitely appreciate it.
No, my pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay, I gotta play this thing real fast and then we'll end here. So I'm gonna stop the video. I gotta go back to sharing this here and this. Let me pull this open, get over to our last kind of video that I got to show to you guys. I don't even know where the heck did I just lose it? Not archives. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I do have to play this one more time for you guys. I appreciate it. The one question I had, I didn't answer. I think it was Laura. Laura said, where can you look at and find the different programs? Whoever you're working with one-on-one, just give them a shout. Let them know, hey, I had a good time on the webinar. I needed to check those out. But that's where you could find those. We'll have them send them out to you. And then once again, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming.
Due to federal and state regulations, we are providing the following disclosure. Please stay tuned, as this will take less than a minute. Foreign exchange, futures, and cryptocurrency trading are highly risky, and you can lose all the money you invest should you decide to engage in live trading. We are not responsible for your investment, trading, or tax decisions. We are not licensed financial advisors, traders, accountants, stockbrokers, or attorneys. We are not licensed commodities brokers and do not engage in or facilitate commodities transactions. We are not an introducing broker and we make no recommendation as to where you should invest or what broker you should trade with. As you apply what you learn, we recommend you seek advice from licensed professionals. Any trade results that we show should not be considered typical of our students. We do not and cannot track the results or performance of our students' private trading accounts. We do not know what a typical or average student earns or loses trading. This is not a get-rich-quick program, guaranteed system, or business opportunity. We sell training and trading tools. We make no promises our training or tools will generate future income for students, and you may not make your investment back, including your investment in this training. Any redistribution or recording of this material is strictly prohibited without advance written permission.
Whoa, sorry. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you. I definitely appreciate the candidness, the questions. Thanks, Mike. Good to see you. If you're working with me, hopefully I feel like, this is just going to make it better while you're working together. If you're not working with me, this recording will be in the back office as of tomorrow, so you can hop back on and see it. Definitely reach out to whoever you're working with. And then if you have any other questions, I did give you guys an 800 number if you need to talk to support. So other than that, thanks for stopping in. Have a good night. We'll see you guys. Have a good day.